Hey, it's your boy, Dustin from the Flying Chair. It's the Rise podcast. And today, oh shit, I got Heidi Popp. I think it's like, starting to lose count of how many times you've been on our show. You might as well be a co host. And I think that's what I'm kind of steering her towards whenever she's got free time. I always kind of drop an invite to her, and when she's totally available, she's on board and she's ready to go. So yeah, you've done a few kind of co-hosting with me and a few guests.
I have. I try to do my best. There's no replacing Chrissy, but I will fill in when I can. She's awesome.
You both are very unique. And yeah, it's unfortunate. Chrissy's got a ghost hunt thing going on with her and her little ghost group. I think they're going investigating, and there's a house, like a regular person that's kind of hiring them to go to their house and kind of do their diagnosis. So it's kind of like she's never done that before, so she's kind of geeked out about that. So
that's really cool. Yeah, that's putting your practice to practice. Yeah.
Yes. No, she likes to be out in the field. She just talk the talk.
Cool. Yes. And I love that. I love when people are doing off camera what they say they do. You know, they walk the walk and they talk the talk. Go Chrissy. Yeah.
No, she's a little gem and fun to hang out with. And again, she's been steering me to some interesting future guests that we're having coming on. And then tomorrow I have another guest. He's a Bigfoot hunter out.
That's awesome. Yes, you asked me about that one. I can't wait for that one. What's his name? Do you know his name?
His name's Michael James. Michael James.
I think I heard it. Those Bigfoot communities, man, they don't mess around.
No.
There's division in them too. There's a lot of infighting and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to hear, but they're pretty epic. They have their own conferences and conventions and everything. So
yes, and I love the fact that this guy goes out in the field and he's got all the gear and just very enthusiastic about the field, and just something I could see where the drive and the hobby, just to go out there and try to see if they can actually catch something on camera or or obviously on camera. I don't know how you're going to prove it. You probably die otherwise. It's trying to let me just pull some hair off you. Let me cut off a big toe.
I wish I could show it. See, I'm on Zoom and for my son's laptop, so it does this to me.
It's funny. I can see a blur of this.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's funny.
A 10-year-old in my class gave this to me.
It's amazing. There it is. It's clear. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
She goes, you should put it behind your streaming. She and her mom watched. So I'm like, you got it, girl.
That is awesome. Oh, that's perfect.
Cool.
And again, how much your students love you, it just shows, right? And all the way down to your core hobbies. And it's like even to your work, when you were working doing the food things at the studios, people know you as the UFO girl. It's like you have this paranormal theme behind Heidi Popp. We all love it. Yeah.
Miss Craftspiracy here. I've been spring cleaning. I've been at a crossroads of how to grow more with the class, if I'm staying where I'm supposed to stay, how it's all going to work. And it's really because of the kids and the families that I'm there and why I'm doing it. But I was spring cleaning. This comes to my surprise. I told you I had for you. I'm finally spring cleaning. And look what I finally found, although the tuft is gone. My little Kachina.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
oh, it's beautiful.
Shoot, my damn blur. How do I fix that? I'll put it in front of here. Here, now you can see it.
Yes.
But the tuft is gone because I hung it on my daughter's wall.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those flat ones.
It was a little white. Yep. And it's blue. You can see all the colors of the Hopis. My friend went to go visit the Hopis when I was pregnant. And she was my friend. She was she was my gal.
That's awesome.
I kissed it and I liked it. And we tried for a little while. So she got me a gift.
Nice.
and she brought it back to me, and this wound up being all the colors of the nursery. I did everything off of this. And she said they blessed it for me, and they keep it in her room and all this stuff. So isn't that cool? I knew I would find it. Cool. I was like, I kept telling you, I'm like, I got to stop saying it until I actually find it. So.
And how ironic that I have one of my Kachina dolls in the background here.
That was the background
not
today,
even knowing that you would found this Kachina today.
Yes.
How funny and
This is
how
you can see just a little bit of
yeah,
the fur
yeah.
left because she's just like she probably
Yep.
had it in her mouth and everything, but that's sweet.
That is so cute. Yeah, no, again, those very astronaut-like, what you have too, it looks very, very robotic and
Yeah,
astronaut-like.
yeah.
And no, I just love how it's the little stem of the cargo cult that like the fact that these creatures interact with these humans basically save them of two tragedies that happened on Earth when there's, I guess the first world had fire. I guess it was an asteroid strike, or I don't know if it's sun flare or something, where something just destroyed a lot of
Something.
things on Earth, where these ant people, uh, underground cities and stuff like that, it helped the Hopis and actually taught them how to uh, storage food, and like how to actually do it right and how to even plant food in like places where you really can't. No, it's just
Cool.
amazing. And then
So
yeah,
cool.
the fact that when they left and they said one day we'll come and we'll come back. They're the ancient ones started making the kachina out of these dolls to pass down to the kids. So because one day when they do return, the kids are not gonna be terrified because they look at this guy. This
I
guy's coming down like
know. Yes.
I was once here before with your
Yes.
great. But no,
Isn't
it's
that
really
cool?
interesting that
Yeah.
ease the nerves of the ones that might interact with these people, these creatures again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It is so cool. And I was saying because they are pretty scary, but look at this guy has a little smiley face.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, some of
So
them are
that's why
not
I
as
was like,
terrifying.
did she have him do that? That's what I wondered. But she stayed there for a little while and just like spent time and then came back a changed woman.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say here, I can just pull up mine really quick. Yeah, just the colors you're saying too are just
Yeah.
um really cool. If I could find
Yeah.
the
It
quick.
was sweet. I was just taken aback that, they spent time holding me in that space and my belly. Like it was like, yeah, it wasn't, she didn't buy it in a gift shop. It was, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, they're so
Dang.
awesome. And these are from the 1940s and 50s, like the ones in the back of the
Gorgeous.
oldest. And then
That's just
yeah, it
gorgeous.
has yeah, right? And they're
Yeah.
well taken care of. And I got them off through auctions.
Oh,
Like I
that's
had
so
like
cool.
bid on them. Some are more expensive than others.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
These are the tallest ones are like 10 inches tall.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. They remind me of the Brady Bunch. I did have a conversation with a mom the other day about Hawaii. I didn't know those
Oh,
legends were true, that you can't take things off the island or bad shit's going to happen to you. Have you heard all that stuff? Like
tell me more.
rocks and shells and all these things. And that particular islands, God, I'm sorry, I can't remember the names, that people will take seashells, sand, whatever, and
Hmm.
they go home and crap happens in their life, like
Oh,
tragedies and loss of jobs and sicknesses. So they have special post offices on certain islands that collect people's stuff that they send back, going, I'm sorry I took it. I don't want it anymore. I have bad juju. And they take all these things in and re-bless it and put it back in the wild. And then these people's lives
wow.
get better. It's like a whole Hawaii thing. I didn't even know that. Been on the West Coast forever, most of my life, and I've never been to Hawaii. So, but they go
Yeah.
every year. And she said her daughter, just she plays with everything, and before they leave, she kisses everything goodbye. Like, I'm not gonna take you. I'm not touching you. Leave it. Like, sure, need some good luck here.
Yeah, no, again, the Hawaiians have interesting myths and stuff like that. Again, gods coming down and the birdmen, kind of with the Easter Island too. They talk about
Oh
the
yeah,
birdmen, and it's just an interesting culture.
yeah.
I don't know if they came from South America, a group of them, and then settled there, and then found it was very plentiful and had animals until they all ate all the animals on land, and then it used all the trees to burn, for heat and housing, and then I'm left with these rocks. And again, what tools do you have? And then like the percentage of
Mm-hmm.
women and children at the time, I think there was only 2,000 people on that island at the time too. So like
Wow.
you gotta think there's only like what 25% of men on there. You think they would be searching for food instead of carving 75-ton boulders and have them upright? No. Like what?
Crazy.
And
Yeah.
then yeah, they And then again, they give credit to these birdmen that come down and interact with them, teaching them agriculture, mathematics, and yeah, the story goes on and on.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, that's awesome. There's so many good stories out there.
and and the fact that now we got to change history soon here because the new findings at the pyramids,
I know.
and now
It's like another check for the
yeah,
conspirators.
exactly. And like the fact that these ancient books have been talking about the truth, and we just kind of look at it as just huffy puff, this myth shit that a man just made up out
Mhm.
of his head.
Mhm.
It's just too
Mhm.
ironic. And then who these guys who made this machine that does this X-ray thing? I can imagine these guys are gonna go all over the place, all around the world with megalithic structures and
I
finding
know. I
more
want them to
crazy
come to the
shit.
mounds in Wisconsin and stuff,
Yes.
in
Oh my.
Illinois.
Oh,
Bring
that'd be
that shit
great.
over here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Come to
that Illinois
LA.
one. That one in Illinois is amazing. It's megalithic. Have you been there?
Which one? Like I mean, I was talking to Garland, my buddies Garland and Jane and Midwest Night Watchers with Starved Rock and like some of the mounds in southern and central. But I mean, they're
Mhm.
all over, really. I don't know which mega one though. Which one?
Uh, I don't know the names of them. I should
Yeah,
know.
I don't know the names of them. They'll know if they were here, they would know that. But yes, Illinois has got too many of them, a lot of them, and I know
Yes.
Wisconsin too. So I think that tech could be used in every state. There's probably something hidden everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
No, this
It's
the
pretty cool though.
no, it is.
Yeah, kids get it. By the way, like with history, when they say history does indoctrinate children when it's taught a certain way, because the kids will have the common sense to go, well, that wasn't just made by pulleys, and that's what the thing is, men and pulleys, and they bring those big
Sure.
stones and everything. Even they're like, there's something more advanced trying to do this, because they can't even they wrap their minds around they it's more comfortable for them to think other beings helped make these huge monuments than humans actually putting the systems together to do it. I feel the same way with like Victorian ages and these huge castles and these ornate
Sure.
buildings. It's like,
Sure.
come on, man, they didn't do that in a year. They could barely make
No.
cardboard boxes in a year now.
Yeah, and I think and I think in the archaeologists way back in the day were saying that the pyramids were built in 22 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy Christ. Then it doesn't like totally add up. It's like if you haul and install 10 blocks a day, and I think that still takes about 200 some fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
No
And how
way.
many accidents by hauling those up?
Yeah.
How many slipped and then you got
And
rid of
you
100 workers along
you
the way
can't
down?
fuck up the measurements on the bottom of that pyramid. Otherwise, it gets all fucked up on the top. So
Yeah.
again, like you have to be so damn precise. It's
Yeah.
not even funny.
Yeah, and then the rooms and the caverns inside. Did they build
Yeah.
around it? Did they carve them out after they made it? Like, and then the
Or
rods. How did they get the
yes,
rods in there? And we'll just call them rods. I know you're saying the spiral things. I'm like big old rods.
they do. Yeah, it's like
How
big
did?
columns and
Yeah.
with
How the heck?
weird swirly, and they're sitting on two big boxes. So there's four on four. It makes eight. So
Mm-hmm.
and it's a mile down. And then I know that ancient men has a history of building their temples on older temples. Like
Mm.
we see that in South America, we see that
Mm-hmm.
in Africa, we see that
Well, they
in
think in the
Europe and stuff like.
Grand Canyon too. They think there's some in there. But go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Mhm.
no, and just yeah, I know where I was going with
Oh, sorry. Well, they build on
that.
top of other temples. Well, and
Yeah,
a
no,
mile down. Like, come on, how are they doing that with the shovels? How long does that
yeah,
take just to dig the hole?
again, yeah, again, this could have been like alien technology in a
Yes.
sense where these ancient ones stumble upon saying, "Oh, this is very important. We're gonna fucking make a big ass thing on top of it," and there's no uh hieroglyphs in the pyramids,
Yeah.
especially someone who made that, a pharaoh would like, I'm gonna slap my name all over that thing.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody knows that I was the one. But no, it's just it's almost made like a machine. I think that even water from the Nile is pumped into the bottom of it to like make like a pulsating pump that hits
Isn't
the
that crazy?
ceiling and the floor and just kind of makes this vibrating. And I don't know if it's on ley lines. I'm definitely pretty sure it's on ley lines. And the fact that it was like lining up the stars at the time when it was is just
Just
Like
crazy.
it's in the desert thing too. Is this that's
Yeah.
mind-boggling? I think like the you're more worried about finding food, right?
I know. Why
Survival.
there? How'd you keep the workers hydrated?
Exactly. Or even like motivated and
Yeah.
just say like fuck you. Just chop off my head now. Use that to use a roller for the boulders. But yeah, no, it's a mind fuck. And then
Yeah.
they do at the same time, these ancient cultures say they still give credit to the gods that came down and taught them stuff. Didn't really necessarily say, hey, they gave us technology. Some of them did. Some was misunderstood technology. They just didn't understand. So it's like Thor's hammer, you see some of the Iceland. I had
Oh yeah.
uh my guest and friend Rona from Iceland. She lives in Norway, but her homeland is Iceland. We talk about this
Yes.
all the time. I always like to bring it up because the
I
fact that the
love her
government,
interview. Hmm.
yeah, the fact that the government talks about this and takes it serious. I just, again, from the outside perspective, you're like, no way, there's no way. And there's more than half the population in Iceland that believe this shit's real. Like there's
Hmm.
like a thin layer of this parallel universe that these elf-like beings that are straight up as tall as us with blonde hair and they just move with grace, kind of like the Lord of the Rings elves.
Hmm.
And just it sounds like it's such a magical place that she just makes it out to be where these gods interacted with people, almost kind of like the Greek gods,
Uh-huh.
because she talks about Thor and all that stuff. And yeah, the stuff had ball back. My God,
Yes.
are you
Yes.
fucking kidding me? It's like no fucking way. And you could tell like the newer stuff is built on top of that old ass stuff that's just like
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
in the thousands of tons there. Like there's
Oh
this
my gosh.
fuck yourself. Fuck you, archaeologists. They're just telling me, yeah, we're just having men just break their backs. And it's the terrains of some of these things too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
And what
um
about all the people who, if are building that, where'd they go? Are they going to keep that secret?
yeah, yeah. Where the
Or
fuck?
did they get mind wiped? There's so many questions. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Iceland is a hot spot too, isn't it? That's a
Yeah.
big hot spot.
Well, the fact that there's still, I guess, modern day contact with the locals there and eat the elves. I like to see ATs. Makes more
Uh-huh.
sense in my mind. But yeah, they would actually have sexual relationships with some of these elves, and then they would go
Huh.
into their dimension and never come back. So that's way more beautiful and
Wow.
peaceful. I can imagine
Yeah.
when you fell in
Yeah.
love with a interdimensional creature, like whew,
Oh my gosh.
like it's a
Yeah.
love story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
why didn't Disney pick this up?
They probably did. It's probably symbolism in there. My
um,
gosh.
no, it's
Oh,
cool, and then the fact that the government won't build roads or move certain rocks on the island without gaining permission from the elves. So it's like
wow.
someone will, I don't know, write a message and a note and put it in a bottle and throw it near the cove. And just hope to get a
Damn.
response. I don't know if it's like a Men in Black that come in there and just like go into that dimension or get near the dimension and two other elves come out like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And do their own, because there must be a federation, because I think Rona was telling us back in the 70s, some movers are trying to move certain rocks where there's a very high population of elves, especially women and children of elves. And these guys like, well, fuck it, we don't really believe that bullshit. And yeah, these guys would get sick, some would die, the
Wow.
machinery would break down, some of the rocks they moved got moved back. Yeah, like, and then like it
Wow.
said, okay, so they just built a humongous road around this place. And then they set laws into place where you can't really go, or you have to gain permission from the elves first if you're welcome there. It is
Dang. And that's
crazy
common
shit.
knowledge. That's
That's
common
common.
knowledge among the town people. They don't even question it, right?
Right. And then
Wow.
even for the newcomers and tourists, they tell not to throw rocks just on the island in general because
Oh,
you might
I
hit
bet
one of
there's
those
no kids.
interdimensional beings.
That's all
Right.
they do.
So
Wow.
they really take that shit seriously enough where
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of
Yeah.
weird. I guess don't investigate Iceland much or anything like that, but why
Yeah.
hasn't this gone out? It sounds so if their government is so serious about it, why hasn't like spread more around?
Why isn't that common to,
Yeah, why
why
isn't
don't,
like more
why aren't we
talking
talking
about this
about that?
in aliens and shit? Because that's especially if they're blonde hair and they're like just like us and they're actually mating with us.
Uh-huh.
That's
Uh-huh.
just
Oh, good one, Dustin. Oh, I know my history lesson next year. The kids are getting older. Wow. I mean,
yeah.
and that's I would assume other places too. So Giant and I just started binging Outlander. I finally started watching that one. Have you heard of that one?
Oh yeah.
TV show, there's a little time portal thing that's
Yep.
more Scotland. But
Yes.
the people who are aware say the fairies take, or they're there's people that believe the stories and they can tell if their time traveler comes through. I just find it fascinating. I'm like, there's too much commonality in these themes in Hollywood for it not to be
That's true.
true.
Or isn't there like that one TV show back in, I don't know, like the 80s where like there's a reptilian
V.
yeah, V.
Oh, I loved that one. Yeah.
Like
I loved that
it's like
show.
half his skin gets ripped off. He's like,
Yes. That was like a family show night. We'd have
yeah,
Cosby Show, Family Ties, V.
V.
That's
Yeah.
how we rolled.
No, it's amazing. And then yeah, just in general, how extraterrestrials are still in our media and just, or even our
Yeah.
pet, like Elf. Remember Elf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and I find out more I watch TV and old sitcoms, like I like Married with Children. They have an
Oh, yeah.
ET episode
Oh,
where
they do? I don't
it's
remember that.
hilarious. So like Elle's in bed with Peg, and he's having a hard time falling asleep, and he just happens to look out the window, and there's a little green, gray alien just staring at him. He's just like, and then some more pops up out, and he's just like, he's just going crazy, and then they come through the window and start picking through his dirty socks, and then they just dip out. And he's like, no fucking
I
way.
don't remember
And he
that
wakes
one.
up. You don't remember this?
No.
And then he wakes up. He's like, you won't believe what happened. And he's like, so this whole time, this whole episode, he's trying to catch evidence of them coming to pick up his dirty socks, but he doesn't know they're looking for dirty socks. He just thought they're just socks in general. So he was using clean new socks and like leering them out. They wouldn't come,
Yeah.
certain areas. And then one of them is just like, I think towards the middle of the episode, they're like, oh, yeah, you're cool enough to kick it with. They're like, take some pictures of us. So they're like, Ella's in the middle with them, that's kicking, that's hanging. He's like, I want to be rich. And Ella's like gonna leave his family with like,
Oh
he's
my
packed up
gosh.
going to the photo booth, developed all the film.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And if something happens to the film, like the machine broke and blew up and shit. So he
Damn,
like his
I gotta
plan
see
of
that
him
one.
being rich went down the drain.
It's
But no,
awesome.
it's great. And then there's actually, I'm a fan of the Golden Girls, and
Oh, sure.
they have an episode of a UFO episode too.
Oh, and the Golden Girls, how did I miss that too? I was
Yes.
just not aware then. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Uh
That's awesome.
yeah, that one's great. They see one in their backyard, and then they're all tripping out and shit, and the government comes knocking at their door and shit and asking questions. They're like, "Oh my god, talk to
Wow.
me, Sasha."
I
You know,
guess looking through, we'd have to ask what hasn't had one. I know Brady Bunch even
right?
had one. Like, there's always a
Yeah.
Martian that comes to a school. I think, I mean,
Oh
the
yeah, you're
Family
right. I think
Ties,
Happy Days with
Happy
Mork.
Days. Oh
Mork
yeah,
came
that's how
and
that
did
was his
his
intro.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they introduced, and then they gave him a spinoff, right? It was a Mark
Yes.
spinoff.
That
Wow.
was Mork and Mindy. And that's another great one.
Oh, I loved that one. I had those
Shit.
suspenders, man.
And
I rocked them.
that's mostly improv in
I
that
was the
show.
best.
That's amazing. He was
He
just
was
a
a
fucking
genius.
rock star. Yeah, just
So, mhm.
that was in his prime, I think. And even Mindy, she was a great actress too.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked that show. I was drawn to all those. What about well, that was a robot, that little doll that was a robot,
Yes,
the
I do
girl.
remember that little. She wore
She
like a
was
red
red with
dress.
red, the
Yep,
ponytail.
yep.
I can't remember the
She had a
name, but
little robot thing or a little control
oh, the
box under her.
panel.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
her back.
Yeah. Which is
Dude.
kind of, I mean, that's still disclosure-y because it's very cloney.
Yeah.
Passing it
Yes.
by. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Right under our noses the whole
Holy,
time.
so is that like a form of brainwashing, or we live in this
Yes.
weird simulation that like the ETs are just kind of like just getting into our TVs and to our politics to
Yeah.
everything, just kind of dabbling, just kind of how it steers, or are some of them from like the writers of The Simpsons, because they had these Simpsons predictions that are just kind of just
Uh-huh. Those
out
are
of
eerie.
like
Those
what
are
the fuck is going
eerie.
on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are eerie ones right there. Those are close. They say someone is in part of the Masonic Brothers or I don't know what, but at the same time, we're all in a simulation.
Yeah,
Time's
seriously.
an illusion.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's just this ups and downs, crazy wars, and it's
Yeah.
almost kind of go back to just history repeats itself. It seems like
I was
just
just gonna
different.
say cyclical, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a pattern, a cycle. Even my sister's calling me. She goes, "Are you ready for things to the grid go down?" I'm like, "Oh, are we that point again? Are we doing that again?" Yeah, I'm ready this time. Maybe in this decade it'll happen. Like, or I mean, it's just there is a repetition of cycles, and I think we always have an ability to thwart it though. Like we are stronger than we realize just using this. Like we
Yes.
can change these timelines. So maybe they just keep trying to regurgitate old storylines. The
Yeah.
the powers that be just put in a new like those little viewfinders. They plop in another shield. Like let's try it again.
No, you're right. It's just weird. Or it's almost like the Mandela effect
Yeah.
too. It seems like even with history, there's just well, yeah, I just think that's just trippy too, with like the Fruit of the Loom to
Yeah.
what was that, Shazam with Sinbad. And
That was really weird because he
'cause
was
I've
in
seen that
denial
movie.
too.
I've seen that
Yes,
motherfucker.
of course. We saw that movie. That was so when he denied it too, I was like,
Hmm.
hold up. And then I realized, well, that's a mind wipe situation, isn't it? Because it's a lot of actors they just withdrew. But that tripped me out. I'm like, you cannot tell a bunch of us kiddos that we did not see that movie.
No.
We saw that movie.
Or like the saying "mirror, mirror on the wall" and
Ooh,
on
ooh,
they say something like
spellcasting.
"Mary, Mary on the wall" or something
Oh,
crazy.
Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Is that what
No,
you mean?
no, it's
Oh,
something from Snow White.
oh yes, Mirror Mirror on the Wall. Who's the fairest of them all? But it's like a
Yeah,
chant.
yeah,
Mhm.
but it's something that you
Oh,
said.
they changed it.
Yeah, apparently that's not the correct way to say it. You try to look that
What?
up. It's
Oh my
gnarly.
god.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's the point. They're trying to make us go what, and then we look
Yeah,
around like idiots, and then meanwhile they're like,
exactly. Wow.
we still got them.
No, and it's again, is it their entertainment?
Right.
Uh, is it
Earth
just been like,
reality show.
well, no, just throughout the thousands of years ETs have been interacting with Earth. I can imagine there was a big beacon out there just saying, here, you can come here and do whatever crazy shit or pranks or whatever the fuck you want to do. There's a
Yes.
human zoo here. And just kind
Yes.
of fuck with time and reality and make other people profits, or just or how religion is, and just I don't know, man. It's just a weird mess, and you're just trying to make sense of it, and it just doesn't make sense the conventional way. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. It doesn't click.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's just too
Yeah.
much other proof of other things going on, and things that have been going on Earth for a long time.
Yes.
So
Yes, all those are ancient civilizations. That's what my son was studying this year, ancient civilizations. He just did his play and it had time travelers. They were time travelers
really,
and they would go through this portal door from like this ancient Eye of Horus, and they'd go through and come out and be in different like Egypt, Greece, when
oh,
Rome took
cool.
over and like all these India, and but they'd throw out these little things to make parents go, "Oh, they're learning here. They're learning good things here." It's so cool. That
That is cool.
sidetracked me again, but I mean, yeah. Do you know Barry Littleton?
No, tell me
I
more.
love Barry Littleton. You would like him. Anyway, we're the same generation, but he's doing this live tomorrow on one of my favorite movies of all time, Starman. Do you know
Oh,
Starman? Jeff Bridges.
I heard of it. I don't think I've
Oh my god, you have to
seen.
see it. You have
Tell
to see
me,
it.
what's the basis of the
It's Jeff
story?
Bridges. So, a woman loses her husband. She's a widow, and she's miserable and drunk and all this, and lives in the backwoods, kind of.
Hmm.
And she's watching tape of him, like the old 8 millimeter,
Sure.
and passes out. And a meteor crashes, or a a ship crashes, however you want to say
Okay.
it, and the light comes in the room, it goes through the film, it touches the hair that she saved from this man's head, and it
Oh,
begins to grow and morph into that man, and it done in like the 80s, so it's really like
oh
it's really
yeah, I like
creepy.
that. I like that.
And then she wakes up and runs into him, thinks she's tripping, and it's him kind of, but like dot dot like a robot.
Yeah.
And she closed them, and she finally, after a while, she's like, "You're not from here." And she saw it on the news that something crashed, and she put it together, and she's trying to get him home to or go to Arizona at his pickup spot. He's going to get beamed back up. He just morphed into the body to not scare her, but he eventually impregnates her. And it's such a cool. And my sister and I, like 10, we're like, I want a Starman too. Get me, but it's so beautiful, and the soundtrack's haunting. You would like, I think you would like it.
Yeah, I'm a huge
I
80s
love
fan.
shit like that, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's really one of those that I was sharing with community. Speaking of the ageism, I was talking before we went on. One of those that you hit up to some, and you're like, oh yeah, that might have been before some people's time, but you got to check it out if you're in this community. It's a good one. It's a good
Yeah,
one. Tons of disclosure. Government coming in. They're getting chased by the men in black. Like it's
it's
all
like
in there, and it's like late 80s or something.
cool. No, I'm all
Yeah,
about the 80s movies.
you'd love it.
Total
Oh
Recall.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my favorite scene. Yeah.
Free your mind.
That was the best. That was really good. That was so well done.
Yeah.
The civilization underground,
What's
and
that one that's like where the guy this one takes place in the 80s where he gets these sunglasses and he's in town and he puts them on and it's
oh
like tells him the truth and like people have the skeleton
yes,
faces.
they
They
live.
live. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yeah.
That's a great one. That's
That's
meat
another
for
great
life there.
concept of like what's kind of going on here. Is it a simulation of like stuff that we really can't see through the veil? And
Yeah,
again, we only see at a certain frequency.
yeah, yeah.
And again, we might have our own interdimensional motherfuckers here just doing
Oh
crazy shit
yeah,
to
million
us.
percent we do. I put two and two together. I just did my own aha moment last weekend. I was on a show, Midwest Night Watcher Friends, and I had this experience as a child in Portland with the Sasquatch. Like, I swear I saw
Mhm.
one. I will die on that sword.
Sure.
Anyway, I cut to me in my 20s living downtown Chicago, and I was working at tanning salon where you go for the free
Mm.
tans. But I had a stalker, and a really scary
Ooh.
stalker, like scary looking, very satanic looking, like just scary dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll never forget. And the recall happened on their show when I'm telling the story. And she was like, "You had a Sasquatch protecting you. Like, you were touched as a child in that manner, and they knew they could protect you from here on out." And it made sense because this man was really tall and scary. And I closed. He basically waited for me, and I went up to him, a dark street, just like right in front of him, right here. He could in any second taken me, no one around. But he looked above me and looked like scared. Like, I've never seen someone have so much evil in their face. Change from that to be almost wetting themselves, scared and running away.
Whoa.
And I didn't do
Whoa.
shit. I just stood there like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. Like, this is happening. Like, oh my God, like that I'm gone. Like, this is gonna happen. But then I was like, oh, like I'll bringing in the heart, the Care Bear. And, but he looked above my head. And I didn't put that together till my buddy Jane goes, she's like, that Sasquatch probably looked at him with beaming red eyes, like, motherfucker, you can't touch this one. She's one of us. She's part of our world. Because I never saw him again. Like, he had a lifetime pass for tanning. He never came in again.
That's
So I was like,
amazing.
I really feel those little multi-dimensional, like I heard with you on the show. I think it was with who was going to be our guest today, talking about how, or I don't remember who you were talking with. It happens often where
Sure.
you have that contact, and because you're doing this show with disclosure, you're gonna be protected, but also have all these experiences. Like, ooh, talk about this on your show. Here you
Sure.
go.
Sure.
Here's
Yep.
the pictures, the photographs. This man would have them because he'd be good to have these. He can show them in a good way. So I feel like when you have that experience, it carries with you through your
Yes.
life. It'll
Yes.
protect. Like, even my daughter with this little guy, like, there's some level of
Oh.
protection
Sure. Sure.
with her and my kids. So you can have traumatic experiences, but you can also have amazing contact and respect it enough for them to be like, homie,
Yeah.
this girl gets us. We're gonna make sure she knows her story was a good one, like a safe one, and she'll be protected, and she's going to be disclosure for us. And that's what you're doing. So there's a
Yeah.
connection, I think, to
No,
all
I
that
definitely
stuff.
agree. And I think even that connections that the natives had too with the Sasquatch. Because
Yeah.
I don't think they were hunting them at the same time, but I think they respected each other's boundaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them did interact with them. And again, like the fact that they might be interdimensional beings themselves, the fact they
That's
can
right.
just disappear and
Yes.
reappear, and again, kind of like what you said, that Bigfoot might have just stuck his head out through that dimension. It's like, you looking at her, buddy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He
That's
said,
right.
"Oh shit, I won't look at her cleavage. I'll just turn around."
I
But
don't know if they
no,
had Wonder Bras then.
yeah. But no, it's just that's hilarious. No, yeah, it makes you
You
wonder
never
if
know.
this the
It makes you
connection
wonder.
that. No, you're
Yeah.
right. I think this
Well, because
the
what happened though, Dustin? How on earth am I still here? How did that situation pan out for me in that manner? My Care Bear steer is great, but I wasn't like, hello, I'm so nice, don't hurt me. It was split second. And it was like, what was that? I feel
yeah.
like that wasn't me. That was something else.
Well, that's
So that's
cool.
so
That
cool.
like extra burst of courage and is like
Yeah.
saying, "Fuck you. Who's this?" I feel like a Sasquatch right now.
Yeah.
I'll tear you apart.
Yeah.
No, it's no, it's cool. And I think
Yeah.
that you're right. I think if we all have this sightings and uh occurrences and seeing like stuff like up close, like you said, like you saw this shit and you'll definitely will die with what you saw.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Um,
Oh yeah, I wouldn't share these things with sound body and sober mind with being a mom too and a teacher
sure.
if I didn't truly feel I had those experiences. I would be deemed crazy or whatever. And I'm like, nope, I'm telling you the truth and I will I will say and it can be received in any way people want. But that's what made me get into sharing it more and more and more is hearing people around the world have these stories
Sure.
and not play the game of telephone. I don't know the person in Timbuktu, but they had a similar light experience. So how can that not be something? We'd be ignorant to not think there's multiple dimensions here because of like the pyramids, things happening out of our that we can't conceive really. So why wouldn't it all blend together somehow?
No, you're right. And then the fact that we kind of dive ourselves into the subject, it kind of brings our encounters too. I think
Yeah.
the fact that you just not had a Bigfoot experience, you had UFO sightings and you
Yeah.
had ghost experiences here in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. And
The
yeah, again,
orbs, the
in
fear. Yeah.
orbs. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
again, I think the you're so open-minded and then you're
Uh-huh.
so I think your personality and how you bring how you present yourself to the world attracts this positive energy and even unworldly things coming out of dimensions saying, who's this girl? Shit, she's wearing that water
A wonder
bra,
bra.
the wonder bra.
Yes, yes, and that's what I'm gonna go
Yeah,
with that. And when those experiences were not fun and were scary and all that, I wasn't
sure.
in a good place. I wasn't
Mm,
high vibratory being. I don't know. No, and I also think military was involved, but whatever.
no.
um, yeah, crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think just opening your mind to this the subject, so especially
yeah,
having the first experience where it's like, whoa, I'm gonna kind of
yeah.
dive into this subject a little bit more because what I saw just blew my fucking socks off. And that's why with my UFO setting, I just went down deep. I was
Yep,
like,
yep.
let's go. There's something popping here in Wisconsin. And
Yes.
sure enough, I found out that there's three towns that claim to be the UFO capital of the world. And yeah,
That's
this it's
cool.
a fucking and yeah, Wisconsin within itself is crazy with like
Yes.
just for
Totally.
ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot, dogmen, UFOs, serial killers,
All of
and
it.
other fucked up people. You know what I'm
Yes. Well,
saying?
and you know what? Like my sister and I were talking about this, that it also is in one of the major capitals of drinking, right? Like
Hmm.
keep the regular peep like under kind of a spell so they
Oh,
won't be believed.
oh, I never thought of that.
Oh yeah. And where they won't be believed, or so their stories be like, oh well, they were just drunk in a field or something. But or make them so they can't see all the activity, like you
Whoa,
never know.
holy fuck! I that makes
My
sense to
sister
me.
brought that up, because she's got the
Yes.
wine bar and she does work with, and we on our whole family, we've dealt with that. But we're like, how much did we miss? Why or dismiss? Oh, I'm not seeing that. I gotta get home. It's like
Oh,
you
man.
did.
Well, I went to North Carolina about like 6 years ago for the first time, and they have crazy drinking laws down there. You
Oh,
not? Have you
oh,
been down there? North
North
Carolina?
or south? No,
North.
no, no, no. Are they on
Yeah,
the Bible Belt? I don't even know where it is. I mean, I know where it is,
I
but I don't know
know.
where the Bible Belt is.
Like Tennessee area.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've been to Arkansas.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, finding out that we were bar hopping, you can only have two drinks at each bar and they cut you off. So you have to like
Oh,
bounce around to each bar just to
wow,
get a few drinks. And
wow,
then
yeah.
you can only get beer at the grocery store and liquor at the liquor store. And you can't just get both at, the same place, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that might be around the belt there.
That's just
There's
like,
drive-through liquor stores in Texas. I've been in those.
well, there's drive
But
through here in Wisconsin.
there are liquor
Yeah.
stores.
Well,
I bet
like
you weren't driving with
drive
an
through
eight ball in your lap.
no. I wish.
But,
Anyways.
isn't
uh
that yeah? So what do you think? Do they have not have a lot of experiences there or contact there? You mean for
what do you mean the drinking laws? I was
or
getting
I
that.
mean with having those drinking laws? What do you think that is because? Why do you
I
think
don't
they do
know.
that?
I'm just wondering why some states are stricter than others. I don't know. You might be
Yeah.
right about the Bible Belt. People are
There
just
is a
more
Bible
strict,
Belt where yeah, it's
or it's just more
it's
strict and
mhm.
conservative.
Yeah, like you can't get them after certain time or certain days, things like that. But then
Sure.
you get into towns like that and you get the craziest mofos because
You
they're
do.
making their own moonshine. They've got speakeasies everywhere. Like it's proven in history, you take something away, people are going to want it more. So you
That's
get the
true. That's
crazy
true.
kids in those towns like Footlooseville going, I gotta dance, like you take it away, they're going to want it more. So I don't know. Some of my craziest friends lived in the Bible Belt.
That's funny. Well, it's a little bit off subject, but I I kind of wanted to discuss it when we were talking
Yeah.
right in the beginning. Was the dire wolf they brought back
Oh
from
yeah, yeah.
extinction from like 12,000 some years ago or some shit. Yeah, it was a frozen wolf. It was I don't know exactly where they found the first one where they extracted the DNA, and I don't know if they got semen or whatever, but they got it and put it into a gray wolf, an
Oh,
American gray wolf, I think. I don't
okay.
know the total details, but the fact that it was successful, like they fucking made a prehistoric animal back to life, like a real fucking Jurassic Park. So now they're getting other things lined up that they've been
Oh,
finding totally frozen and finding guts and
oh shit.
like other liquids that are still good that they could, definitely clone and fuck with.
Wow.
So they're bringing back the woolly mammoth and they're bringing back the woolly rhino.
What? Where are they gonna put them? In like a Jurassic Park kind of thing? Which thing?
That's what's gonna happen. Like some big
Wow.
thing like that, or they're gonna have why wouldn't they just dedicate an island to something like that? Why not? No, like I think they're talking about something in Russia where the methane is coming out of the ground pretty heavily. And back in the day, like the ancient mammoth were stomping the ground really good. So I think they're just gonna let them roam. Well, if we ever get in peace with Russia, I have no idea. That's ever gonna be possible. If there's any other methane coming out of the ground somewhere, we'll send some mammoths to eat the grass and shit and stomp the ground.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh.
It's
Wow.
very interesting. I think the
That's
closest
really
relative to the mammoth is the Asian elephant.
okay.
Um, so yeah, they've just obviously just cloned it out of that, and I guess one of the rhinos too is whatever closest relative
Oh my,
species of rhino we
rhinos are
had,
vicious. Rhinos
right?
are vicious.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd be the one that'd be hard to tame. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a bad moon horizon. I don't know. I mean, you're gonna
Well,
start
then we
fucking
have
around with weird
China,
things.
or not China. I'm sorry, Japan. That last year just passed the law that they're doing. They're Dr. Moreau.
Oh.
So they're doing human slash animal hybrid things.
Well, at least
I
they're
can
admitting it
imagine.
now. Because haven't
Yeah.
they been doing that underground somewhere? Oh,
Yeah. No. Yeah, it makes you wonder what crazy programs in their basement already
Yeah.
hatched and just in their cages. Like, I am noticing that I'm got consciousness and I'm like something, so, it's so
Holy
weird to
shit.
think. And then I love the movie, Dr. Moreau. Have you seen it?
I have not, but I knew what you meant. Like, yeah, yeah.
That's Val Kilmer
That's one
that's in
I
that.
have to do.
Val
Yeah.
Kilmer's in that movie. God rest
Oh,
his soul.
I
That poor
know.
guy.
I
Jesus.
know.
And he
I
was such
know.
a good looking guy. And the fact that he got slapped with cancer in his throat and kind
I
of
know.
just,
What is he not saying to develop that? They say
oh,
sometimes that's
right.
unspoken word when that happens. Just saying.
It'd be
The
crazy
health,
if he was a conspiracy theorist and then that shit happened to him.
and heart. He was kind on set, I heard. I didn't work with him, but that's crew talk. So very interesting person. My
Mm.
favorite movie of all time of his was Top Gun or Top Secret. Do you remember that
Oh,
one?
yeah. Hmm.
That was so good. That was
Yeah, it was
another one of
good.
my sister, my favorite. Anyway, just yeah, that's sad. But
Yeah.
I've got to see that one then because it's like the 10th time I've heard it and seen memes. So now I have to see it.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it's
surprised I
really
haven't.
good. It's the special effects and the people who did the makeup for the people who are like half animals and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And this guy, Dr. Moreau, gets the godlike status of, being the creator and the father of these creatures. Or some of
Wow.
them are in pain and some of them are just psychologically not knowing how to be, because they're all kind of mixed up of like being wild and the whole laws of animals. They're not supposed to eat animals, so they just more of the vegetarian types. Even like the carnivores, they had to like learn to, eat certain things that were cooked or set up for them, like, maybe chickens or the hell, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
they have certain laws and stuff like that. And it's just, and then they had like chips in all the animals too, so he can control them if they kind of got out of whack or they try to attack
Mm-hmm.
him or something. He just push a button and but again,
Damn.
the people who are working there kind of get psychologically fucked up because Val Kilmer is one of the guys who are like one of the caretakers there, and he starts just getting high off the drugs there and more, I think it's heroin and
Jeez.
shit. This is really fucked up, man.
Wow.
These
That sounds like a
orgies
good
with
one.
animals. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Crazy good.
Crazy awesome. Yeah, I didn't mean to give it all away there, but no, it's a good movie. And this
Awesome.
again, I love that sci-fi and the fact that it was once just a thought then,
Yeah.
and now we bring it to reality now. And we made it when stuff that comes up, it's there and it kind of just goes in the back of the mind. It's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
maybe the dire wolf. Like that should be shocking, right? Like that should
I
be like
know.
it's like we bring something back, but it's just kind of for some
But
reason it just kind of goes even me
I
too.
know
It's just like
because we've been so conditioned, but I still feel it to be a little Mandela or cyclical. Like I feel like, didn't we do
sure.
that? Didn't we do that already? Take someone from the ice and bring it back? Didn't we already? I'm starting to just question that now with headlines. I'm like, did we do this
Well,
yet?
didn't we do
But
the sheep cloning?
yeah, we did that. Um, human pig. Like there's a lot of stuff where I feel like, and I think that was the intent of Hollywood to confuse, is because now people are like, oh, maybe I just saw it in a movie. And we probably did, but it probably is also going on in the news cycle. There's been a lot of repetition lately. There's been a lot of weird stuff
Yeah.
where
Well,
I'm like,
I see some
yeah,
weird videos about pigs, about like how maybe pigs
yeah,
are like human banished souls.
yes.
They get,
Isn't it creepy with the hand, the
the
paw? It looks like
hands and
yeah,
the
yes.
eyes look very human, and the fact that they have emotions obviously too, and they mourn
Uh-huh. And when
and
they scream,
they
oh my
scream, and
God.
the fact they can't look up, they can't look to the sky.
Oh,
It's that.
I didn't notice that.
So it's like they're being punished by God. So you're like you can't even look upon the heavens after you're banished soul. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
Holy
And then
smokes.
even the cannibals who've admitted eating people talk about like uh, hum- uh humans taste like pig and horse. So it's like
Finally, something doesn't taste like chicken.
yeah.
But geez. Well, I was kind of binging this Yellow Jackets show. Very,
Mhm.
very I mean, it could be I do watch a lot of young stuff still, but it's kind of young because it's a high school team that gets stranded. They turn into cannibals. It's not, they
Oh
say
yeah.
it's not a true story. It's done really, really well though, the flashbacks and everything. But some of the cannibal scenes, you're just like, you think something would happen to them, but it does give them an extra like craving or life, or it's pretty
Or power. It's like
creepy.
powering. The fact that,
power.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
And a
you.
multi-dimensional connection. Like they do start hearing things. They do start feeling
Oh
guided to
wow.
do it by something bigger than them after they do it the first time. It's
Oh wow.
kind of crazy.
That
Yeah.
is crazy. And then
Yeah, there's a restaurant here. They say in Hollywood. They used to say Fuckerberg's wife's
fuck,
sister is a chef
Fuckerberg.
there. Yeah, I can't say it regularly. Um,
I thought you were
because
making
they
fun of him.
say, yeah, the Cannibal Club, and there used to be a
Oh
website for
shit.
it, and you'd have to, to obviously do a hardcore reservation to get in. But then the rumor in the crew scene was that the Top Chef finalists. I like watching Top Chef. It's a cooking show that some of the finalists you don't make it to they're really good, but they don't get to the be the finalist because once you are, you're like Bravo's bitch for the year. You have to do all the promotional tour. You work with Bravo, but some really good chefs get propositioned. Do you want to be a chef for the elite for their parties and things? Like, can you go down this rabbit hole? And rumor is a couple of the chefs signed on and they now work with cannibals.
Holy shit.
How many ways to make that meat like kebab,
Yeah.
skewered, sauteed, whatever. I guess they need a professional chef to like change it up a little bit.
Wow.
All rumors
That's
for entertainment
so
purposes
gnarly.
only. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's
But yeah,
super
there
crazy.
once that I think it was 2019, it was some Q drop or something about the Hollywood restaurant, and then we found it to be inexistent. Now whether it's closed off now or I don't know because too many eyes got on it. But yeah, there's those elitist things that was open randomly, but then once a week they're all, not only the sex parties and stuff, but while those were going on in another room was something like that. Like who
Wow.
needs to feed their craving? They have
Wow.
cravings, yeah. So I
That
didn't go to those.
is, yeah, thank God. Oh my.
I didn't
Oh,
get
can
that
you
invitation.
imagine? Oh God.
Shoot,
No,
yeah.
just
There's some I have fed, there's a couple big names that are vegan. And one in particular was Mr. iRobot. And I really liked that show. That was so good.
oh
You
yeah.
remember iRobot?
Hmm.
But that's a big a crew like he's a cannibal. I'm
Shit.
like, but he's vegan. I fed him. They're like, that's what they say. It's the cover up. I don't know what to think anymore. But sometimes they have the symptoms of like just not looking well until after like some big event or big party where there's back rooms. And then all of a sudden they color in their cheeks again. You're like, I more speculation.
Yeah.
Entertainment
That
purposes only.
pubescent child tastes amazing. Jesus Christ.
The way that chef did that.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Just the right amount of Parmesan. Holy Christ. That is this dark web shit is gnarly.
Oh
There's this
yeah.
there's a show, I don't know if it's on HBO. It's called I'm from Florida, man. You ever heard of this?
Uh-uh.
So it's all these wacky ass stories from Florida. These people who have it's true stories.
Okay.
They're like reenacted by comedians. Like you
Oh,
would
cool.
recognize some of these people who are like just doing like, being these
Okay.
people. It's actually the real people are the ones narrating the
Oh,
story, and they're
nice.
actually
But
sitting back
actors
and
doing it.
you see these people, actual people talking.
That's
And
awesome.
it's really great. But they had this one guy, he really wanted to go to a concert and he was just super broke and he's just trying to think of ideas to make money. So he's like, oh, let's go on Craigslist and just make up, I'll do anything for money within reason, something like that, and just kind of like let it out there. And he's getting all these like weird sex things and weird other things where he wouldn't do. And um he comes across this one that hits him up that sounded kind of intriguing, where it's like, I don't know how he worded it at first, where he kind of drew him in, asking for more, exactly what he wanted. But
Mhm.
anyways, he described like, I would want you to come over to my house, cut off 3 of my toes, cook them while I watch you eat them. And he was gonna pay him $4,000 for this.
That's
I was
it.
like, yeah, exactly. 4,000. I was like, dude, you better be getting a lot higher than that. So this guy was desperate. He's like, fuck it, let's do it. So he goes to this dude's house, and he brings his friend with him as a woman. And because I guess the dude wanted him to have another witness to watch this happen and maybe film it.
Holy shit.
So this guy, he thought this guy was just going to be this weird fucking guy until he gets to this house and he just realized it's kind of a nice house. And he knocks on the door and it's this well dressed, nice, fancy house. And he's just like, yeah, come on in. And he's just like, he sits him down and has some drinks and it's kind of, then he sees on the ground with like what's ready to go down, like plate, clean cloths
Tools
and
and
like
stuff. Oh
tools
my
and
gosh.
knives and shit. And he's just, just kind of saying, like, yeah, man, ready. This is how I want to do it. And yeah, so this guy uh
Wow.
was ready to get down and do it. And he had a countdown, and this guy had a safe word to
Uh-huh.
like stop him. And he kept on
Uh-huh.
using the safe word like 3 or 4 times. And the guy who came there was starting to get pissed. Like this guy's like,
He's like, can
he's
I
like,
do it already?
come on, dude. What the fuck? We're all here. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You got me here to cut off your fucking toes and eat them and shit. And this guy's like, hold on. I'm a karate teacher. And I don't know what my students are going to think when I'm coming into my class all missing my toes and shit. And then this guy's like, what the fuck? And then they're interviewing dominatrixes and other people with like sex culture and
Yeah.
psychology. And there's people who are out there who like to fantasize or have the blade close to the skin for a sexual
Oh yeah.
gratification in a sense.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what the guy was kind of achieving at the same time, but not really thinking it through and how it would get down. Really weird
Okay.
stuff where it never like happened. Nothing
Okay.
happened. The guy still got paid.
Oh, that's good.
And then
Good.
yeah,
But he
it's
couldn't
not,
believe so. Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
and
Maybe it was
sometimes
the
he
rush, the adrenaline of about
yeah,
to,
yeah. And then I think when he
Damn.
like all it went down, he's just like he dropped the knife after that. And he's just like, I can't believe I was about to do that. Type of shit. And I was like, yeah, what are you doing, motherfucker? And then apparently this guy that he was going to see this concert apparently hit some bad news where like he's end up being a pedophile and shit. And he's just like, I
Oh
can't support
no.
that guy. It's just like his whole like viewing and loving this band so much enough where he's gonna eat some dude's toes, like
Oh
to see
no.
this band. Oh, it's amazing. So I recommend that TV show. I think it's called Florida Man.
Florida man.
It's
I'm
like
gonna write that
Florida,
too.
comma man. Yeah,
Florida
it's
man.
they have tons of different other crazy Florida stories. Like another guy, he just like he's just this redneck dude. I just want to go out to the wilderness and have some fun. He's just walking out for hours and he hits the swamps, and then he's just not realizing he's just swimming. He's like, this is casual, this nice water, and he just starts to realize for himself, this is a alligator infested waters. This alligator pops up and just bites off his arm. He's miles away from civilization. He's just trying to zigzag his way back to like he's
With
finding
one arm.
beer bottles and he's like, yes, I'm close to the streets or something. And then like he found it, but like he was out there for days. Like
Oh, it's
so I don't
oh
know where the alligator
yeah.
grabbed his arm, crushed it enough so where the blood wasn't coming out so much
Okay.
faster. It did something enough where
He
I mean,
didn't
it was still
bleed.
bleeding, but it was not like
He
gushing
didn't
blood.
bleed to death.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's just walking around for 2 days in the wilderness with like one arm trying to find his way back. And he gets like to the curb where he just like passes out and he's close. And then some dude is walking by and sees him. And he's just like, hey man, you got some water? He's like, dude, he's like on the brink of death with one arm. Oh
That's
God.
awesome. I
Yeah, and
get it. That's a good
this
one.
guy, yeah, that one's great. And the guy, Dirt Nasty, you know that guy, Dirt Nasty.
Uh-uh.
Um, you would recognize. He's that comedian. He was in Scary Movie 3.
Oh, if I saw his face, probably yeah.
Yeah, you definitely would recognize him.
Okay.
Super funny. Yeah, I guess you recognize a lot of these comedians. You're like,
Oh
oh my
yeah,
God.
the drunk history guys I used to perform with, like some of
Oh
those guys.
yeah.
Some of
Oh
those guys.
cool.
One of them,
Really?
Craig Krakowski, was my teacher, my
Oh,
improv
that's
teacher for a little
amazing.
while. And Benny was a buddy. Yeah, he was sweet. Yeah, it's that's I miss those worlds. Sometimes, I want to, it'd be so cool to see what it would be like now, but it's just so different nowadays. It's different. And the industry did shift. Like there really isn't that much going on. There's not that much production. But anyway, they're fun memories to have. Some
Yeah.
of those comedy guys are awesome. I love that they're gems. Some of them are just so authentically funny. That's just who they are.
Well,
That's their essence. I'm like, they can do anything.
I was gonna say, if any gem is out there, it's the zombie girl. Oh, yeah. Heidi, you won't believe how much I watched that shit. You probably think I'm a psycho.
Do you know what's Psycho? I've seen it so many times, but I get scream at the end every time. I'm like, where was makeup and effects? I should have had blood on my face at the end when I
Oh
said
yeah,
something.
shit.
I was eating them. Why didn't I look clean? That drives me nuts, but we were kids.
You don't have a job.
Jason Horton's doing really well. He's busy
Is
too.
he?
He's
Oh,
yeah, he's
good.
doing all right.
Good.
There's some of
Yeah.
those players that are doing really well. Yeah. And
God,
here
I
I
would
am
hope.
teaching kids how to hold a crystal. I went from zombie girlfriend to channel your inner spirit animal.
No, it's totally cool. And you're still in the spotlight, Heidi.
Yeah.
The fact that you have such a big group of friends and they're all through different communities of the paranormal and
Yeah.
Hollywood and just
Yes.
acting and
Yes.
making again,
Yeah. Content.
I think the world needs Heidi Pop. It's
Oh.
no, seriously, it's true. Like everybody loves just to chit chat with you and just have you there and your present our presence, I should say.
Thank you. That's
No, it's
very
a
kind of you.
no, it's really cool. It's just I think you have so much good aspect of your storytelling that you can just go anywhere with it, because you had the drive and the
They
like when you were younger, just to get out there. I want to be on camera. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's kind
yeah.
of like I see
The
myself too.
drive was huge.
Like
Pardon?
I wanted to be in the spotlight 24
Uh-huh.
7. Like I was juggling as a kid too. I was just like I
You're like,
was
look what I can do. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
I was in plays. I was
So
in
cool.
Little Orphan Annie as one of the
Yeah.
street boys when she first escapes the orphanage and she's around
Wow.
singing down the street, and I was the juggler boy because I was the only one that can actually juggle and stay juggling for a long time while she's singing. I'm just dancing around her. And she...
That's so cool.
yeah, no, I thought right there too when this is back in 8th grade when I did that, and
Aw.
no, I thought that was so fucking cool. And I just thought, yeah, I just love being animated and going to improv shows here in Madison. I just like that kind of gives me, they have people come up and do stuff to them too if they want to
Uh-huh.
have people just join them and like
Uh-huh.
act. One time I went up there and I had to like move the actors while they were acting. So there's
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
robots to I had to like
Oh
put them
yeah,
in
yeah.
sexual
That's the
positions and
game.
stuff like that, you know.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And no, it was great. And
It's yeah. I taught kids on camera acting, but the bit with the teaching or the doing it, it's just confidence and listening, really. And
yeah,
because you'd be amazing with improv because you as well are a good storyteller, but you're a really good listener. So, just
yes,
being in, trusting yourself to be in the moment and then just rolling with it. First thoughts that come to your mind. My first troupe that I was with here in North Hollywood, I was wasted every time. Like, and I wasn't drinking the clear stuff. I was drinking everything everyone could smell. It was like whiskey.
scotch.
Yeah. And I don't know why I would I would just, I'm like, oh, it's like was part of my arsenal. And then I'm like, you don't
Sure.
need to do that to get to that point. I used to think I had to do that to get to the point. So I was in a lot of bars and comedy stuff. And then you realize, oh, to be funny while not having all that, it's kind of funny too.
That's
So,
hilarious.
yeah, really good moments happen. And there's truth in comedy too. People just share their stories, but the way they share them, some of the best comedians say the least amount of stuff. It's just all in their delivery. They're either
True.
really stone cold or they make weird faces. And that's funny in and of itself. I came across a new show that's my new favorite too. I binged late. Is it Kill Joe or Kill Bill? It's a comedy show with Joe Rogan
Oh,
from Austin. Well, no, wait, I
oh,
shouldn't say that. It's been around 12 to 14 years in Austin at this comedy house, but they just started airing it on Netflix. And it's hysterical because they have like a bunch of comedians in the next room that are like never been seen by on shows, and they'd call them in to have 1 minute to woo them. And you can just it's crushing because you can see people just fail, but you also see
Uh-huh.
them shine. And it's the ones who are confident, who give who's truly confident in the moment, that are just like, fuck it, I'm having this moment. The rest are like closed off. It's painful to watch, but also hysterical. Comedy is amazing.
It
Comedy,
is.
it's
It
such
is.
so therapeutic.
It's super therapeutic. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And the fact that, like, you're right. Like, I think one of you didn't think would be an awesome comedian, but Steve-O. I
Oh
went and
yeah, right?
I went and
Yeah.
saw him. Me and
Oh
my mom.
yeah. He does look like a long brother from another mother.
Yeah. And it was amazing. Yeah. He was
It's awesome.
super generous. And he, like, after the show, he's just like, I'll take pictures with everybody and chit chat with everybody who wants
That's
to stay
so
and do that.
cool.
He stayed hours after the show just to chit chat with everybody and sign stuff. And
That's
no,
awesome.
it's really cool. Very humble. He really liked my mom. He's like, let me get another picture with her.
Oh, I love. Oh, that's so
No,
cool.
like, you're right. He just told not jokes, but just basically his story of life. And it was just like, you won't believe, like, some of these stories that he told were just so out of this world. You had to laugh, you know?
You have to laugh.
And then,
Yeah.
like, I was at a Brewer game and I
Oh
was sitting
yeah.
exactly right behind Carrot Top, and I tapped him on the shoulder. And I scared the fuck out of that dude. He went, "Oh." And yeah, he was super nice. I was like, dude, I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture?
That's awesome.
And yeah, he's out there. He's doing it.
He's still working. He's still doing his thing, right? He's got a podcast, I think, and he's got a couple of things going too. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
he's got a full-time gig at the Luxor in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. My
Mhm.
one of the parents in my class works for Wahlberg, and Wahlberg wanted him to come with him to Vegas because he left town and went to Vegas too, Mark Wahlberg. But the dad stayed, and he still works for him online and stuff. But when he's in town, he's like his personal dude. Like
Oh,
it's
cool.
kind of cool. But again, another one that you hear firsthand accounts of how awesome they are, how chill. You don't see them at the Cannibal Club. He's like a businessman. He's like family man, businessman, and he just made a name, and has all these businesses. But some really work it. They work the room, they work the business, and they're good at it, and they do deserve all that. Steve Berg is in this UFOology community. You've heard of his name? He might be a good
This rings
guest
a
for
bell.
you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He was in the comedy groups I was in. Yeah,
Oh,
like
cool.
it
Well,
was I saw him come across on a Bigfoot thing, and I was like, he's doing this shit now.
oh,
And so I
cool.
asked if I could interview him. I'm like, do you remember me? I would probably missed your cue because I was high in the light booth because I was a house manager and stuff at comedy club and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he had remembered we rolled with the same people and stuff. But anyway, it's fun to see him in this paranormal community doing his thing. Like he hosts Bigfoot conferences and stuff. So
Well,
it's cool. Mhm.
Heidi, if you, like, want to get some people on our show to, have on
Nice.
for guests, it'd be great to have you help co-host. And
Sure,
then
sure.
I'm actually getting dates with Jim Goodall, and I think I would love to
Oh,
have you join us on that because
yes. I'll wear this for Jim.
yeah, as I said, he'd be sweating. You see that, be like, oh my god, I see some
We had
UFOs on your
breakfast.
chest.
We had lunch or breakfast here. It sounds awful. We had breakfast, not in that manner. He was coming through town and we
Yeah.
went for breakfast. So I got to meet him in person and know, those are those exchanges. Oh yeah. And I'll be in Wisconsin first week of
Oh,
August for sure. My
oh,
sister's got her
sweet.
third wedding.
Oh, I'll be around.
So
So
we'll
yeah,
be
I'll love
there.
the link. I love the link up.
Yes,
I
it's
come see you.
happening. And I don't know if we're going to
Perfect.
stay after because we're going to drive with the giant because we're all going to the wedding. But if the kids and I might stay the rest of August, I don't know how that's going to
Oh,
We're
that'd be
going to figure it out.
fucking dope.
But I'll be around.
Please. Oh my
Yes.
god. Oh my god. Yes, I'll
Yes.
come visit you.
I want to go to Bellevue too. Let's go see that
Yeah.
little man and get some pancakes.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm mixing all the stories, but you know what I mean.
No, I do. Oh, that's so fucking awesome. No, I think there's
Yeah,
some
we'll
really
get the
cool
peeps.
stuff here in the
Mhm,
summertime. And
mhm.
yeah, no, again, I just need to. We're actually, speaking of which, I wanted to announce this. Put a picture up here. Dun, dun, dun. For people in the future. It's gonna pop up. Here we go. The
Oh,
little flyer
cool.
that I made and
Nice.
Tim made too. We kind of slapped it all together. But
That's
yeah, we're doing
awesome.
a little night hike and sky watch in this little hot spot in Middleton. That's this little outside of Madison. Yeah, I guess my friend Jeff, this one here and this guy,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, he runs the Wisconsin Badgerland Legends. He's got a whole YouTube channel there and stuff like that.
Sweet.
And KJ, she does the ghost hunts here in Madison tours.
Awesome.
And
Oh my God, that's awesome.
yeah, no, so yeah, it's actually my first time doing sky watching with like a group of people out
No
in nights.
way.
Yeah, I never done that
Sweet.
before. So
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
so yeah, I'm just gonna announce this one to friends and family who want to come join us. And I
Uh-huh.
think it'd be cool with flashlights and you know, and just
Oh, that's
good
so
times to talk
cool.
into ETs and maybe catch something in the sky that night. Who knows?
Yes. Oh man, I would so be there. We were going to be
Yeah.
out of the country at that time, but I would so be there if you have anything at the other times.
Oh,
But
we will.
we'll do our own little skywatchy.
Yeah,
But that's amazing.
we'll definitely have actually Heidi, that'd be perfect. We'll have a gathering in August and we can figure out exactly what days you're going to be around and we can
Sweet.
get one going and you can be part of that
Woohoo.
franchise and I'll slap you as a guest franchise.
That's
You're in here in
awesome.
town. Yeah. Again, you can be part of the crew
Cool.
here.
Woo.
It'd be
That's
really cool.
awesome. That's really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
super duper hot spot. I think the lakes have a lot to do with that too. I
Yes.
think the lakes have a lot to do with that. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
giant lakes
really.
around Wisconsin
Yep.
uh says something. Because yeah,
Hmm.
they even have the Michigan Triangle they talk about. Do you hear
Oh
about
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Where like missing boats and planes and people who are swimming in it just disappear.
Yes.
Another dimensional
Yes.
place. I don't know.
Yep. Yep.
They
No,
find
yep.
I think northern Michigan they found like a underground Stonehenge with like mammoths carved into the stone.
Holy
That's really
smokes.
yeah. Again, like Wisconsin was once a glacier. You know, that's like one
Uh-huh.
of the last places on Earth that had a glacier. So
Uh-huh.
it makes you really
Yep.
wonder what was underneath the ice and
Oh
what other
yeah.
cultures were around before that should happen. So I don't know. It's just it's
Yeah.
very eerie and a lot of questions and
It
the
could be a huge series, like TV show series of the
it could.
disclosure of Wisconsin. Because, like you're saying, the glacier was it Potawatomi State Park. They
Hmm.
have like this was the last ice age stone wall or something
Hmm.
really crazy, creepy things, and a lot of like stairways into what like goes into the walls, these stone carved stairwells. And you're like, where is this
Yes.
supposed to go?
And the fact that we have underwater pyramids at Rock Lake. So that must have been before
Crazy.
the big ice age, right? To
Yeah.
be underwater.
Yes.
So
Cool stuff. Not just
yes.
cheese curds in
Mhm.
Wisconsin.
Not just keys. No, no.
They're so chewy.
Nanu nanu. But yeah, well, on that note, I think we caught up on a lot of good shit tonight,
Woohoo.
and I think that was pretty entertaining. Actually, I've been doing a lot of cool editing where I've been putting a lot of cool sound effects in, kind of
Nice.
jazz
Good
it up
for
a little bit.
you.
So I'll
Nice.
do
That's
that one
smart.
tonight with us. I'll put
Cool.
some really funny things when we're saying some funny things. We did say some funny things. But no, I'm so excited for the future of having future guests and doing stuff with you. That's totally cool. I just kind of threw you like you're doing
Oh
stuff with us
yeah.
now. You're part of
Ask
my
me
crew.
anytime. Yeah. And thanks for riding that wave with me. I was like, oh, I got a fundraiser, and then I got this,
Oh
and then I got
no,
this
that's
number I'm free
no,
available.
that's how I
Yeah.
totally ride. I'm just
Okay.
yeah, whoever can make it is and same with Chrissy. I told her too, it's like don't feel like you're not getting paid to do this. This is the love and the
Oh,
of just having making friends and being in this culture of people who just like following us because seriously, a lot of people live vicariously through us. I mean, that's how it is. Like that's how I
that's
found
what
you. I was like,
podcasting. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's how, I saw you the first time was with
Robert.
Robert.
Robert Earl
Yes,
White. I
you're
love him.
yes.
Mhm.
I was so jelly of him. I was just like, I'm gonna get Heidi Pop on my show. That's happening. I made it a mission to like find you and hope that you were cool. And you were, and I find out you were so cool and so down and like so open. And then like to be a friend too, just not just a person that we just like to talk shit.
Oh,
But no, you're uh you
Yeah, we
opened up.
connect
No, we
offline.
did. We had some other conversation where I seen you get emotional, and I
I
was like,
know you've seen
wow,
my
damn.
tenderness.
That was awesome. I was like, I saw tears down her face. I was like, oh, I made it in a certain spot
She's
of
human.
friendship here. This
She's
is
human
great.
after all.
No, it's cool that you felt comfortable enough around me to, express
Of
that. So I
course.
that no,
You're a good
well, I
fella.
feel like if I needed a cry on the shoulder, I'd come to Heidi Pop.
Absolutely.
Heidi. Move over, Jim. It's my turn. Move over, Robert.
Oh my
My
gosh.
turn.
Have you chatted with Jim yet? Have you heard about his stories of the pyramids, the Maya and Mayan Riviera
No,
and
no,
stuff?
no,
Oh, is that
no.
what he's bringing? He's got to bring his whole mission on
Oh,
too.
cool.
That's
Because yeah,
so
no,
cool.
he's telling me
Or
he's on
Belize,
vacation right
Belize.
now or doing something that he was. Because I was asking him, can I send you some available dates? He's like, well, actually, can you send me to me when I get back home from this vacation? So he's like going to be back
Oh
on the
yeah.
23rd or something like that. So I was going to
Okay.
reach out to him a day after that
All right.
and set him some dates. I'll shoot for a weekend because weekends work best for you. Is that correct?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I am on spring break now, and who knows what the future will hold, but Friday, Saturday, Sundays are good.
Okay.
Usually, yeah.
I'll shoot that with him because
Yeah.
I want you to be a part of this conversation because I think I'll keep it a secret and you're just rolling kind of like,
Oh,
you guys are
where
having
my
a
Dustin go?
podcast tonight? He'd be like, what? How do you? No,
He's a
so
gem.
he is. He's
I
awesome.
gotta pardon my closet now for Dustin's duds. So I found all the lowest things I could find.
Cool. Yeah, you look beautiful. Oh my God. Yeah,
Got
seriously.
some leather kicking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. You're sexy as hell. Straight up. Uh,
Thank you.
yes. Need to hear it more often.
I own it.
Well, hey, I think we'll wrap it up for tonight
All
and
right.
we'll have some future runs for you because
Sweet.
Heidi will be back.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, stay with me for 2 more minutes.
Okay, doke.